All right, getting you prepped for this paper bag machine operator interview. Using a RoleCatcher's career and interview guides, let's unpack what we've got. This is like your cheat sheet, so you're not just ready with answers, but ready to impress.
It's really about more than just getting through the interview. It's about getting a feel for the whole picture of this kind of job and where it fits in the whole world of manufacturing. We're going to help you connect what you'd be doing to the bigger impact of the work.
So the career guide starts with what a paper bag machine operator actually does. It's feeding paper, monitoring those machines, making sure the bags are strong, all up to quality standards, not just pushing buttons, right?
Yeah, lots of responsibility. Because think about it, it's all those grocery bags, lunch bags, every shopping bag out there. You're part of making those. Real impact on people's daily lives.
The scope part even talks about how it's not just running a machine, but also troubleshooting, doing those quality checks.
Yeah, a lot of problem solving goes into it. But speaking of that, let's look at some interview questions you might get. RoleCatcher's AI can help you get your answers just right for this specific role, by the way. So you're not just practicing, you're practicing smart.
Yeah, and we pulled some of the most interesting questions from that interview guide. Like, can you tell us about your experience operating paper bag machines? Sounds simple, but the guide says it's not just about listing machines you've used.
Right, it's about showing how well you get it. What kinds of machines? What did you actually do? Did you ever run into problems? And if so, how'd you fix them? Good idea to have examples ready that show off your experience, how you solve problems.
And then they might even ask something like, what was the most complex machine you operated, and what made it challenging? Got to have a good story that shows off your skills.
For sure. Okay, moving on to quality control. How do you ensure the quality of the paper bags produced meets the required standards? This is where you show them you're all about those details and making a really good product.
The guide says to get specific here. So don't just say check the bags. Walk them through it. Like, do you inspect the seams, test how strong they are, measure them? What's your process?
Oh, and mention any certifications you've got. Six Sigma, quality control training, that stuff makes you stand out.
And then they might ask, can you describe a time you identified a quality issue and how you resolved it? Have a short, powerful story about that, how you solved it.
Absolutely. Now, safety, super important anywhere they're making things. Be ready for. What safety measures do you take when operating paper bag machines? This is where you show you know how to keep things safe.
Wearing the right gear, following procedures, knowing what to do in an emergency, it all tells them you're serious about safety.
And if you can go beyond just the basic stuff, have you ever done anything to improve safety where you worked? Maybe noticed a hazard and spoke up. Sharing that shows you're thinking about safety all the time.
Yeah, they might even ask, have you ever encountered a safety hazard and how did you address it? Shows how you think on your feet, stay calm when things get tough.
Good point. Okay, this one tests your problem solving. How do you troubleshoot issues with paper bag machines? They want to know you can handle things when they go wrong.
Don't try to pretend you know how to fix everything. Be honest. Just explain how you figure stuff out. Do you look things over first? Check machine logs. Talk about gathering info, ruling out causes.
And then they might ask, what's the most challenging troubleshooting experience you've had and what did you learn from it? Shows you can learn from your mistakes.
All right, classic question. Could you tell us about a time when you had to deal with a difficult situation while operating a paper bag machine? Pick a situation that shows off good skills.
Right. Think of a time you had to, fix a problem under pressure or work with your team to overcome something.
The guide says don't just say something generic. Make it a specific story, something they'll remember.
And get ready for them to ask, what could you have done differently? Or how did that change how you approach stuff?
Okay, on to efficiency. They'll probably ask, how do you ensure the paper bags are produced efficiently? They want to see you're not just getting it done, but getting it done smart.
This is where you show them you're all about making things better. So talk about how you make sure you get lots of bags done without wasting stuff. Maybe you've got a better way to load paper or found ways to keep the machine running more.
They might even ask, have you ever identified a bottleneck in the production process, and how did you address it? That tells them you're always looking for ways to improve things.
Good one. Now, maintenance. How do you maintain the paper bag machines? Making sure those machines are in top shape is important.
Talk about what you know about routine maintenance. Cleaning, inspecting, the whole deal. If you've got any certifications for machine maintenance, mention those here.
They might ask, what is your approach to preventative maintenance? Shows you're thinking ahead, trying to stop problems before they happen.
Okay, next up is pressure. How do you handle high-pressure situations when operating paper bag machines? Things get crazy sometimes. Got to show you can handle it.
Think about a time you had to deal with something really demanding, like a huge rush order, or when a machine broke down. How did you stay focused, get things done in the right order, and make good choices under pressure?
Maybe they'll ask, how do you manage stress in a demanding work environment? Talking about how you deal with stress in a good way can make a good impression.
Showing you can handle the pressure is really important for this job. Remember we talked about RoleCatcher's AI. It can help you tailor your answers to these questions specifically.
It's like having your own interview coach in your pocket. Practice answering questions and get feedback just for the paper bag machine operator role.
That kind of practice will really help you. Use it.
We'll be back soon with more to help you ace this. Stay with us.
Back to the deep dive. We went through some tough interview questions, but the more you practice, the better you'll get. And using those AI tools in RoleCatcher, you can practice smart and get feedback made for this job.
Yeah, it's like a secret weapon to help you get your answers just right. But it's not just about answering questions. You also want to show them you're thinking about the big picture of your career.
Exactly. That's where the Advancing Your Career and Career Stages sections in the career guide are helpful. They show where this job can lead. It's not just about the machine. It's about the skills you're building, the paths you can take.
For example, they talk about moving up to be a supervisor, or focusing on certain types of bag production, or even going into machine maintenance or quality control. Lots of options.
Showing that you're already thinking about the future tells them you're ambitious, you're serious about a career, not just a job.
The guide also talks about always learning new things, training programs, keeping up with industry stuff, maybe even getting certifications that shows you care about what you do.
And having a good network of people in the industry is important too. Going to events, connecting on LinkedIn, you never know what opportunities might come up.
Oh, and I love that the career guide has those example profiles of people actually doing this job at different points in their careers. It's cool to see what your future could look like. There's this senior operator, started on the factory floor, now he manages a whole team. Pretty inspiring.
It shows that this starting job can lead to a really great career. It's all about having goals and working towards them. But hold on, before we get to the next question, let's talk more about those AI things in RoleCatcher. You mentioned them before.
Yeah. We talked about how RoleCatcher's AI can make sure your answers are good for the specific job and give you feedback. But it can do even more than that.
Right. There's this awesome CV resume builder. It uses AI to make your application perfect for certain companies and jobs, like having a professional resume writer right there helping you.
It looks at the job description, picks out important words, even suggests skills to add. No more guessing about how to make your resume stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the AI-powered interview practice tool. That's really cool.
It is. You can record yourself answering typical interview questions, and it'll tell you how you did, like how you sound, how fast you're talking, even your body language. It's like a practice interview, but without anyone actually there.
And the best part is, all of this is made just for paper bag machine operator jobs. So the feedback you get is stuff you can actually use.
Exactly. It's like having a coach just for you, whenever you need it. Okay, back to those interview questions. This next one can be tough. What are your salary expectations? With a little prep, you can handle this one confidently.
The key is to know what you're worth. Look at websites like Glassdoor and Aria. Indeed, see what other paper bag machine operators in your area are making. Think about your experience, any special skills you have.
The interview guide says it's good to show that you're flexible and willing to negotiate. You could say something like, I'm looking for a salary that's in line with the market and matches my experience and skills.
Don't be shy to ask about how the company does salaries and what benefits they offer. Shows you're thinking about the whole package, not just the money.
Right. They might even ask about your long-term money goals. This is your chance to connect what you want with how the company is growing.
Like you could mention that you want to keep learning and maybe get a better paying job later on.
Exactly. All right, common question. Why are you interested in this position? Simple, but this is where you show them why you are the right person for this job and this company.
Don't just say, I need a job. Tell them what specifically makes you want this job.
The career guide says it's good to talk about your interest in manufacturing or how much you like the company, or maybe you want to work with a certain type of machine.
And make sure to connect your skills and experience to what they need for the job. You could say, I've always loved how stuff is made, and I want to use my skills and experience in a busy place like yours.
They might ask about your career goals and how this job fits into those. Be ready to talk about what you want for your future and how this job helps you get there.
Okay, another one where you tell a story. Can you tell us about a time you had to work as part of a team? Working together is important in manufacturing. Show them you're good at it.
Pick a time when you were a big part of a team project. Talk about what you did, how you talked to your teammates, and how you worked through any problems.
They might ask about a time you had a disagreement with someone on your team and how you fixed it. Shows how you handle tough situations with people.
Okay, this question usually comes at the end of the interview. Do you have any questions for us? This is important. It's where you show you're paying attention, you're curious, and you really want the job.
Don't ask things you can easily find on Google. Ask questions that show you know about the company and the industry, or that get more details about the job.
Like, you could ask about the company's plans for the future, or about chances to learn and grow, or even about the specific challenges and good things about this job.
Asking good questions not only gets you good info, but it also makes them remember you. It shows you're serious.
Before we finish up this part, I want to say again, using RoleCatcher's AI tools will give you a big advantage when you're getting ready for your interview. It's like having a coach and a secret weapon all at once.
So go to RoleCatcher, check out those features, and start practicing. You'll be so much more confident and ready.
Definitely. We'll be back soon with the last part, where we'll give you even more resources and tips to help you do great on that interview. Stay tuned.
And we're back for the last part of our deep dive into getting ready to be a paper bag machine operator. Almost time to rock that interview.
Yeah, we covered a lot. What the job is like, those tricky interview questions, and even how to think about your career long term. But RoleCatcher has even more to help you do great.
What else is there? I'm all ears.
So remember how we talked about showing off your skills and what you know? Well, RoleCatcher has these awesome skills guides just for paper bag machine operators.
Skills guides. Tell me more.
They break down all the important stuff you need to know, like how to adjust the machine, keep an eye on those automated systems, how to troubleshoot when things go wrong, even how to stack the bags the right way.
Oh, okay. So I can use those to, like, brush up on the technical stuff before the interview.
Exactly. And here's a pro tip. Go through the guides and write down specific times when you've used those skills in your past jobs. That way, when they ask you about troubleshooting or quality control, you've got real examples to talk about.
Makes sense. Anyone can say they're good at something, but it's better to show them.
Right. And while you're looking at those skills guides, check out the part about related careers. You might find some other jobs that sound interesting in this field, like tissue paper perforating and rewinding operator or envelope maker.
Wow, I've never even heard of those.
Yeah,
There are so many different jobs in this industry.
there are. And the guide also lists what they call transferable skills. Those are things you learn as a paper bag machine operator that you can use in other jobs too, like paying attention to detail, being good with machines, and knowing how to solve problems. Those are good skills to have anywhere.
So even if I change my mind about this job later on, what I learn here will still be useful.
For sure. Now, remember when we talked about how more and more people want eco-friendly packaging? That's actually leading to some cool changes in how they make paper bags.
Like what?
They're using new materials, new ways of making the bags, even biodegradable bags are being developed. Lots of exciting stuff happening. So when you're in that interview, don't be afraid to show that you're interested in all that.
So should I ask them about their sustainability stuff or what kinds of paper bags they're making?
Yeah, it shows you're not just there for a job, you actually care about the future of the industry. That kind of energy and being forward thinking, that makes a good impression.
All right, I think we've covered everything. I feel like we've done a really deep dive into being a paper bag machine operator,
Yeah.
and now you know what it takes to ace that interview.
Definitely. Remember, confidence is key. You got this. And don't forget about RoleCatcher. Use those resources, practice your answers, and you'll be ready to impress them.
Good luck.